This is 7 News.
Tonight, a former Perth taxi driver cleared of rape makes astonishing claims about sex for fares.
A prisoner stages a rooftop protest at a Perth jail.
The Reserve Bank's shock decision not to cut interest rates.
And the plan to slow Perth streets down to 30 kilometres an hour.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Rick Ardon and Susannah Carr.
Good evening. A former Perth taxi driver who was cleared of a rape charge says sexual favours are routine forms of payment for cabs across the city. Prajit Singh Gill claims offers of sex for fares is widespread, and he knows of at least 50 drivers who've been involved. We warn some of the details in this report may be confronting. Samantha Jolly reports.
The son of a Perth MP made a tearful apology to the woman he injured during a drunken boat crash. A Perth court heard Luke Woolard visited Kate Campbell in hospital after the accident. Miss Campbell is suing him for damages over the crash. Amy Kabansky reports.
A Perth mother has spoken of the grief and shock of losing her unborn baby in a car crash caused by her former boyfriend. And Vanessa DeBurry is angry that Matthew Silvestro only got an $8,000 fine. Alexis Donkin reports.
As we go to air tonight, there's a rooftop protest at a Perth prison. Grant Taylor is in the 7 News helicopter. Grant, what can you tell us?
Well, Sue, I'm over Acacia Prison out here at Wooroloo, which has been in lockdown since about 9:30 this morning. Now, that's when a male prisoner has managed to climb up onto the roof of the education block, and despite attempts to negotiate with him all day, he's still refusing to come down. Now, corrective services won't say what the man wants, but we understand he's unhappy about a recent change to his living arrangements, and we also understand it's not the first time that he's scaled a roof to make a point. Now, it's been a pretty hot day up here. He's going to be feeling tired, thirsty and hungry. Authorities are hoping he'll come down soon under his own volition. Otherwise, force may have to be considered. Rick.
Thanks, Grant. The Reserve Bank has shocked home loan borrowers by keeping its official interest rate on hold. Retailers who had a terrible December fear shoppers won't start spending again and businesses will be forced to close.
There's a new clue tonight in the search for a missing man who police fear has been murdered. It's been revealed Charlie Park was the target of an abusive graffiti campaign in the days before his disappearance. Grant Taylor explains.
A man is still missing after walking out of his Camillo home 5 weeks ago. Carlo Zdunic hasn't spoken to friends or family since he left, which they've told police is not like him. The 35-year-old may have been in Margaret River just before Australia Day. Police have serious concerns for his welfare.
30-kilometre-an-hour speed limits in Perth could become a widespread reality if a leading road safety research centre gets its way. The Curtin Monash Centre believes the slower traffic zones in some streets would save lives.
A speeding fine given to a firefighter trying to get to the Margaret River bushfires has been cancelled by police. Graham Rivers was flashed at 99 in a 90 zone while driving a fire truck with its lights and sirens on. A $75 fine arrived in the mail, but it's been cancelled this week after 7 News uncovered Graham's story.
Prince Charles and his wife Camilla will visit Australia at the end of the year as part of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. The royal visit was announced by Julia Gillard today. In England, Princes William and Harry led tributes to their grandmother.
Still to come, how the stock markets fared today.
And a firebomb attack on a Perth home. Plus, Kylie's call for police help over online threats.
And more Hollywood hype in the build-up to the Oscars. In 7's Money Watch, Australian shares have dropped into the red after the RBA unexpectedly left its cash rate on hold. The ASX 200 dropped 21 points on the back of weaker overseas markets. Materials the biggest drag on the board. An ounce of gold rose $1.40. Financial stocks took a hit following the RBA's decision. NAB shares fell 96 cents or nearly 4%. Macquarie Group gave up 20 cents to $25.90. Retailers Woolworths and David Jones finished lower. Mining and rail equipment manufacturer Bradken shares closed 22 cents down. $1 Australian dollar is buying $1.07 US.
A Wanneroo home where a man was shot dead late last year has been firebombed for the second time in a month. Police say Molotov cocktails were thrown through the window of the Lalina Way home early this morning. The home was unoccupied. It was also targeted by arsonists on January the 18th. 21-year-old Jeremiah Iskander was killed in the property's driveway on December 21st. Police say they don't know if the firebombings are linked to the murder.
Parliament sat for the first time this year, opening with question time. And despite the government's best efforts, Kevin Rudd was the centre of attention again, sidestepping more questions on whether he'll launch a leadership challenge.
Kylie Minogue has called in police over threats made on Twitter. The 43-year-old told online followers she's being harassed by a deluded weirdo and she's alerted authorities. Kylie has gone through this before. In 2003, she received hundreds of threatening letters. The gay icon, who's celebrating 25 years in the music industry, is the star of the Sydney Mardi Gras next month. 150 nominees for the Academy Awards got together for a group photo this morning. Among them was Australian film editor Kirk Baxter for his work on The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. But it's the Brad Pitt-George Clooney battle for Best Actor that had the gathering buzzing.
So it's fun to catch up, and it's fun to see people that I like and that I haven't seen in a long time.
The Academy Awards are at the end of the month.
Sport now with Adrian Barrett and Sean Marsh. Find some form, Barra.
Yes, Rick, after a horror run, he's back in the runs. That's next. Plus, stand by for Super Pav. The Freo captain reveals he's broken a pre-season record. And why WA's Daniel Ricciardo just can't stop smiling.
Hello, Natalia Cooper with you. Temperatures climbed into the mid-30s today and they will again tomorrow. We can also expect gusty winds, so there's a total fire ban in place. Currently it's warm outside, 32.7, relative humidity 19%, and winds are from the south-southeast at 19 kilometres an hour. We hit a top today of 34.5, and that was just before 3 this afternoon. 17.7 was the overnight low. And around the metro area, Lancelin was the hottest spot today with a top of 37, 35 at Fremantle and at Gin. Around WA, it was very hot through the central west as well, 42 in Eneabba, and some isolated showers and thunderstorms through the Kimberley. Tomorrow, there's the chance of a shower or a storm in parts of the Great Southern Goldfields and the Wheatbelt. Kalgoorlie heading for a top of 32 degrees. Over to the satellite picture now, and a mid-level disturbance is what's going to trigger that showery and stormy activity. It's going to be hot in Perth with a trough sitting down the west coast, and it's going to remain pretty quiet in the tropics over the next few days. Looking interstate tomorrow, a thunderstorm for Brisbane and a shower or two expected in both Sydney and Canberra. Boating forecast back home, east to southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, reaching 20 to 30 knots offshore. Winds will tend south to southeast 15 to 20 knots during the morning, and they'll be lighter inshore. Then they'll shift east to southeast in the evening. Seas to 2 metres and swell to 2 metres as well. So there's a fire weather warning for tomorrow. As I said, it's going to be windy in the morning and we're headed for a top of a hot 36 degrees. Tonight it should get down to 18, then 36 degrees again on Thursday, 35 on Friday. Saturday's going to be a little bit humid. We're heading for a top of 30 and then sunny and a lovely 29 degrees on Sunday. Before I go, congratulations to Val and Len Hardman of Thornley, who are celebrating their 67th wedding anniversary. Joyce and John Cox are celebrating 64 years. Congratulations. Here's Oz Lotto.
And that's 7 News for this sunny Tuesday. Thanks for your company.
Now here's Monica and Today Tonight.